If you've got a question for Coach Williams, go ahead and use the raise hand tool, and we will get to as many here in the next 10 minutes as we can. C.L. Brown, you're up first.
Hi, Roy. I was wondering if you could kind of take me through the recruitment of Dayron. Were you the first one to see him? I can't remember who I heard was the first one to see him, and because it seemed like almost you guys caught him as a diamond in the rough, and then he started to trend upwards until he got high recruiting rankings wise.
Well, he was a diamond in the rough, and I think he still is. I think he's going to get better and better. We heard about him, saw him. I guess it was the sophomore year in high school, and started recruiting him at that time, offered him a scholarship, and I think he committed to us during the summer after his sophomore year in high school. And then he just kept getting better. I watched him a lot his junior year. They have like a 30-point lead in the finals of the state 4A championship. He had a great team, and he was fantastic for them then, and then went to Montverde and played on the team. It was probably the best high school team in the country, and played with really good players, and still was outstanding. Didn't get as many shots because they had so many good players. So I think he's just gotten better and better and better. But we just heard about him early and started looking into it, and thought he had a great potential.
And kind of piggybacking off of that, you like to get out on the road a lot to watch guys firsthand, but with the pandemic being what it is, how much has that affected your looking forward recruiting and how you're laying out the groundwork for future classes?
It's very difficult because I love going out. I don't mind going to camps. I don't mind sitting there and watching 10 games in a day. I don't mind getting in the car and driving to Charlotte and seeing a game and turning around and drive back after the game. It's something I've always done. I tell a lot of kids that I'm going to see you more than anybody. And most of the time, if I tell them that means that I really want them, and I need to show them that. But with what's going on, I'm not very good on the phone. I don't enjoy talking on the phone, and it's difficult for me because I don't think I make as big an impact on the phone doing something that I don't like to do as opposed to going and seeing somebody. I tell a lot of kids I'd rather drive 20 minutes to the airport, get in the plane and fly an hour and a half and get off and drive 20 minutes to their school and watch them shoot 15 free throws and then reverse it and come all the way back home. I'd rather do that than call a kid one time because it's not a personal thing with me.
Brendan Marks, go ahead.
Hey, Roy, I know we had just gotten an update. Obviously, Anthony able to come in and play for the first time. I was just sort of wondering, I know it was a quick turnabout, but how did he respond to getting some live action?
I assume he responded well, but you answered the question yourself. We haven't practiced, and we have all of our guys come see the trainers on Sunday, and I saw him on Sunday, and he said he was feeling fine, but I went and saw our trainer, Doug, before I even put him in the game because I just wanted a little more energy level, and Anthony supplies that, and he was fantastic. He played 8 or 9 minutes and tied for the lead in assist on our team. And so he just says great things about Anthony or poor things about the other guys. I guess you can look at it either way.
Thank you.
Luke DeCock, go ahead.
Hey, Roy, there's obviously a lot of major disruptions in this season and different ways of doing things. Are there any little things that you particularly missed from your in-season routine or little disruptions that have sort of caught you off guard in sort of the way we're doing things?
Well, the disruptions, the one that's easiest to answer. Last week, we practice and then we run some and then we stretch and then everybody goes opposite our bench and sits down in the seats that we have separated. And I was asking our coaches, okay, tell me what the schedule is for tomorrow. And I turned around and started walking over to the team, and I saw 2 or 3 guys looking at me with their eyes wide open and like, oh my gosh. And I said, guys, we're okay. And Anthony said, Coach, when we see you talking to somebody like that and you're coming over to talk to us, we're worried about what's happening. So the disruption is much more evident with the way our kids are always thinking that something's going on. And, 2 times this year, one time we've told them that we had a game was canceled, and another time we said we're not playing this game, but we are playing Notre Dame. And so that part has been difficult for the team. For me, our players always talk about running through that tunnel and coming out on the Smith Center court. And now it's not a very big deal. So I hate that for them. I'm coaching the same way now as I would be if there's people in the stands, but it's you don't have the excitement level that the fans and the kids love. I'm more concerned about how we're doing in that possession than I am about listening to how loud the crowd is. But I miss that too. But the other thing is just the indecision every day. Something is changing. Somebody's having to stop. Somebody's doing this. And so for us, it hasn't been a very smooth ride with 6 freshmen for sure, because they're just looking at each other like what's going to happen next.
Thanks, Roy.
Thank you.
Andrew Jones, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, through the first 8 games, you guys assisted on 51% of your field goals, and it's up to 65 in the last 5 games. What do you attribute that to?
Well, not doing it enough early for sure, and still not doing it enough. We've got to move the ball and share the ball. We've got to get our big guys more involved. Their shooting percentages are good, and perimeter players, other than Kerwin, their shooting percentages are bad, so you can't be dumb. You got to get the guys that are making the most shots. They got to get the ball more. But I think we are moving a little better, not anywhere where I want us to do or want us to be on that. But we are understanding the spacing a little bit more and moving without the ball a little better.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Josh Graham, go ahead, sir.
Coach, I'm not sure if you know this, but Coach Forbes, in what's described to be power conferences in college basketball, was the only coach to take a job last offseason with the pandemic. Given that and the fact that he missed pretty much the entire month of December before facing 4 ranked opponents and getting set for you on Wednesday, just from a coach's perspective, what do you make of what him and his program are going through right now?
Well, Steve's done a great job when you consider all those things. Everybody's got problems. It's unusual, but I don't know that anybody has handled things the way Steve has as well. The things that he's had to handle being the new coach, whole new team, all that kind of stuff. Oh, yeah, here you got to play Virginia Tech, and then you got to play North Carolina, and then you got to play somebody else. So I don't think anybody's had the challenges that Steve has had. And he's just done an amazing job with that and getting his club. They're in every game. And I think that it's a testament to his philosophy and how his personality fits in with that philosophy of working hard, trying to cover everything. And I think that he's done an amazing job. It's been difficult for everybody. I mean, Jimmy and Mike and myself and Leonard and Jimmy Larinaga, my gosh, we've been around since the rocks cooled. But Steve jumping into a new league and having to put up with all this stuff has been hard on him, as it has everybody else. But he just had so many other different challenges also.
Ross Martin, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I was just wondering if you had gotten scheduled for the vaccine yet. Anything new on that front with your schedule?
Yeah, I'm hopeful that we're working on getting it, and we've done the paperwork. We've done all this. We're hopeful to get it at the end of next week, because I'm above that magic number of 65, and I wish I was just barely above it, but the bottom line is I'm 70, so they're saying that I'm eligible to get it, and I didn't make any moves to try to get it any earlier because they said 75, but I am 70, so hopefully I have it at the end of next week.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Got time for one last question from Kip Coons. Kip, go ahead.
Yeah, Roy, good morning. Just to follow up on Anthony Harris, watching the game Saturday, it blew me away that a guy could be plus 10 in only 8 minutes. And I was wondering if you would determine that that's the amount of time that he's going to be able to play now, or if you've gotten to go ahead to give him more minutes, and just what his physical condition is right now.
Well, he's been doing half-court stuff for almost a month, but it's just been a couple of weeks that he's been doing the full-court stuff. And he works really hard. I mean, even before he was doing that, he was working hard on his conditioning. Coach Davis and he were doing a lot of the shooting drills that at the end of a 2-minute stretch, you got to rest. So his conditioning wasn't that bad, but it's still not anything like what everybody else's is. But his energy level, you know, he played 8 or 9 minutes, but took him in and out 3 times. He wasn't in for 8 solid minutes, but I thought he was phenomenal. And as I said, I just wanted some different energy level out there with our club. And if the other guys played at that level of their effort and focus and sense of urgency, I'd be a heck of a lot better coach. I can tell you that. And going forward, guys, I'm scared to death every possession. And I just want to make sure we're taking care of him. I did, as I said, talk to the trainer first. And then before I put him back in, I talked to the trainer again. And I talked to Anthony and said, "Are you sure you're okay?" But he's just a great youngster. And I was so happy to him to have that moment.
Roy, thank you for the time today. We appreciate it.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.